Brian Costello is my husband, but today he is my interviewee. Brian, you are a residential home developer. Can you tell us why you decided to become a developer?
Yeah, that's a good question. So after working for a cabinet shop for about 10, 12 years, my life wasn't really going anywhere. I wasn't paid that great, and I really wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what that was. So I took some time to think about it, and I realized that, yeah, I like real estate, I like resorts, and so I thought, wouldn't it be cool to build like resorts? Yeah. And so I decided to go back for my MBA, thinking that I was going to be a commercial developer for things like that. During my MBA program, I was required to do an internship, and through that internship, I met a guy who had started his own company as a small-time residential builder and developer. And I ended up working with him for about 4 years, and then I decided to go out on my own.
Perfect. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It was a great time, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was actually very stressful because I was a part of that. Yeah.
First starting out, yes.
Yes.
It was very stressful.
But
I took that leap of faith and it paid off.
Yes, it sure has. So if you could maybe give us more of a background in your construction, and what would you say is some of your specialties that you have in construction?
From working with cabinetry for so long, I would say, the cabinetry aspect, fine finish millwork, moldings, installing doors, installing kitchens, installing bathroom cabinets. That would be probably my personal specialty. Mm-hmm. And on my past project, I actually did all of the cabinetry myself.
Yeah.
With our baby on the way, I might have to outsource that for this project.
Yeah. I feel like you truly have a passion, because a lot of times I'm like, Brian, just hire somebody to do it,
mm-hmm.
And you don't like to do that. Not that you don't like to, but you're truly
a perfectionist.
He is a perfectionist.
I have trouble letting go of that and having somebody else do it, because a lot of work out there just isn't that good.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why we made terrible flippers when we tried to flip a house back in 2018. We failed miserably, but through that time, we actually learned so much from it, because there's just a lot we learned, but definitely I think that's why we make terrible flippers, because we're both, very passionate.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
I spent too much time and too much money making everything perfect.
Yes, yeah, and that's not how they make money in that business. So we're much better off just building ground up. So, so you have been a part of several different builds, stuff you've done on your own, but also that internship. How much does it cost typically to build a home, would you say?
So, of course, it varies depending on the area and the finishings that you're planning on using. I would say a good number these days is about $250 a square foot.
Like a good rule of thumb.
Good rule of thumb, yeah. About average $250 a square foot.
Yeah.
To build something new ground up.
Okay. So Brian, I've had so many potential clients call me that want to build, their dream home on a raw speck of land. So as a developer, what would you recommend to somebody that's looking to build their home on a raw piece of land? But what would you tell them before they were to enter into a contract to purchase that land?
I would say due diligence is key. I would figure out who has jurisdiction over the land and go to that jurisdiction's building and safety. Each jurisdiction has its own, and then talk to a planner there to see what's feasible, what you can build there. It's all going to depend on zoning, city codes, all that kind of stuff. And then also see about utilities. Does the lot have utilities? And if not, what's it going to cost to get them there?
Perfect. Okay, so Brian, you've been a part of building several homes, not only just for your business, but also during your internship. Why does it cost so much to build a house, though? I mean,
Well, that's a pretty long answer. There's three components. It's labor, materials, and entitlements. So your permits and your clearances. Labor, as we know, has continued to go up in cost, and so have materials. A couple years ago, wood was absolutely out of control, high priced. And then second, like cities like Los Angeles, where I build, have things called linkage fees, which, not to get political, is supposed to help, the homeless problem. So for this current development I'm doing, I had to pay an additional $25,000 to the city that goes in a fund that's supposedly helping provide affordable housing. Whether that works or not is a whole nother topic.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense. So, Brian, you are a home builder and developer, but besides that, you also hold a real estate license, and you have been a part of many transactions with me, assisting our clients. What would you say, from not only a builder, but also as a real estate agent, what would you recommend to somebody that's thinking about selling their home and they want to make some home improvements to, maximize their return?
I mean, the easy ones would be like paint, landscaping, the basic stuff.
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal, exactly. If you've already got all that down, in real estate they say the kitchen and the bathroom sell a home. So if you're looking to do some actual remodeling, I would start there. Maybe redo the bathroom, redo the kitchen, to something more modern and appealing.
Perfect. So Brian, what is one of the craziest experiences you've had when it comes to maybe building a home or buying a home or any of that? What would you say?
So back when I worked at the other company as the operations manager, we bought a house that was occupied with squatters, and we filed the unlawful detainer to evict them. Then on the day of the eviction, the sheriffs came and basically told everybody they had to leave. So this guy, I have no other way to describe him but a crackhead, took down Christmas lights from the fence, tied them to his beach cruiser, and then tied them to a large barbecue and started towing the barbecue down the street, connected by Christmas lights.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
It was a sight to see. Yeah.
That's one of the crazy. There's been a lot.
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was funny.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Only in Los Angeles. As a developer, builder, what's your favorite part of the process of building?
My favorite part of the process would be probably the initial breaking ground, really kicking off the project with the start of the foundation. But also, I like seeing the finished product when it's all done.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
It's a sense of accomplishment when you get something from nothing to complete.
Yeah. So Brian, what would be your least favorite part of the building process?
My least favorite part is the planning process. In Los Angeles, once you buy a piece of land and contact the architect, you're looking at about a year before you can actually break ground, where you're in the city doing all your clearances, and you're planning your blueprints, you're submitting them and resubmitting them to the city, getting corrections back, and it's just a very long, tedious process with a lot of red tape.
Got it.
I like to be out in the field.
Yeah. He loves to get his hands dirty. Okay, so Brian, what would you consider, what would you say, what is one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made in real estate, in your career, and in business?
Biggest mistake I've ever made in developing was my first ground up build was on a level 2 methane zone, and I didn't really know anything about that at the time. So what needed to happen was there needed to be an impervious membrane laid under the foundation before the foundation was poured. I did not do that. We poured the foundation and had completed framing before the inspector called it out. So I had to do a remediation system where they trenched the they cut the slab throughout the entire house to put vent piping that ran through to the roof. That cost me $40,000.
It's a big mistake right there, but a mistake that we learned from, and
I will always check my plans very carefully.
Won't do that again. Yeah. Brian, what's the biggest mistake that you've made in real estate?
Well, this one's near and dear to your heart. My very first real estate transaction left her parents homeless for 3 weeks. I didn't have great communication with the selling agent that was selling her parents' house.
Right.
They sold it and closed escrow.
That agent forgot to ask for a rent back.
Yeah, so
Left it out of the contract.
they sold our house, were completely homeless without even getting loan approval yet to buy a new house. And I had to work with tons of different lenders, finally found the right one that could do a reverse mortgage for them.
That was like a really crazy first transaction.
It was a very crazy first
I
transaction.
think the flip was probably the craziest for us.
Well, it was the toughest.
All right, Brian, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking and answering our questions. And I appreciate and love you so much for all that you do to support my clients and support my business. And I'm excited to take on this new era with you.
You're very welcome, and I'm excited too.
It's like a Taylor Swift era, you know?
It is.
Except she's not involved with any of this, but
Unfortunately.
yeah.